So far we have discussed stress, we have discussed different types, nature and sources of stress, and we also discussed how stress and our immunity, stress and health are related. So we need to know how to handle the stress properly, how to cope with the stress properly. So in the following section, we'll discuss what is coping, the concept of coping, and the strategies, different techniques of coping. What is coping? In simple terms, coping means the way we handle, the way we deal with the stressful situation. Coping is a dynamic situation-specific reaction. It is a response to the stressful situation and the events that we want to resolve. Okay. So, Lazarus and Folkman conceptualized coping as a dynamic process. So, it is a way to react in a changing situation so that we can reduce, we can tolerate the external and internal demands that are created by stressful situation. Endler and Parker developed three coping strategies: task-oriented strategy, emotion-oriented strategy, and avoidance-oriented strategy. Task-oriented strategy means when we focus on the task. Means if I face any kind of stress, if I encounter a stressful situation, I will focus on the task. Means what I can do, how I can overcome the problem, what strategy I have to develop. So that is task-oriented strategy. Emotion-oriented strategy means when we use emotion to cope with the stressful situation. The emotion means we may cry, we may show anger, we may show frustration to deal with the stressful situation. And avoidance-oriented strategy means when we avoid the situation at all. We do something else to distract our mind and to cope with the situation, and we completely avoid the negative or stressful situation. So these are the three kind of coping strategy given by Endler और Parker. Let me give you one example. Suppose मुझे एक presentation देना था और मेरा presentation बहुत खराब हुआ. So in that situation I feel very stressed and मुझे फिर से एक presentation देना है. So in that situation how I am going to cope with my stress, and I am feeling very stressed that मुझे फिर से presentation देना है और मैं फिर से मेरा presentation खराब हो सकता है. I may face criticism. So in that situation, how I'm going to use this coping strategy? If I use task-oriented strategy, then what I will do? मैं देखूंगी कि मेरा पिछला बार प्रेजेंटेशन क्यों खराब हुआ, क्या प्रॉब्लम था, मैंने क्या गलती किया, मुझे क्या करना चाहिए, कैसे मेरा गलती को सुधारना चाहिए और किसमें मुझे फोकस करना चाहिए, मेरा वीकनेसेस क्या है. So these are all task-oriented strategy. This may help me to cope with the problem, to address. Actually, in task-oriented strategy, we focus on the source. How to focus on the source to deal with the stressful situation. Okay, जैसे कि इधर मैं सोर्स को देख रही हूँ, क्यों मेरा क्या प्रॉब्लम मुझे हुआ प्रेजेंटेशन में, क्यों मैंने अच्छे से प्रेजेंटेशन नहीं दे पाई. So this is task-oriented strategy. But in emotion-oriented strategy, I will not focus on the source. Rather, I will use some emotion to get to cope with the source. मतलब मेरा प्रेजेंटेशन अच्छा नहीं हुआ इसलिए मैं रोऊंगी, मैं फ्रस्ट्रेटेड हो सकती हूँ, मैं गुस्सा हो सकती हूँ अपने आप पर, और I may perceive other people as biased. So these are emotion-oriented strategy. And avoidance strategy means जब हम लोग अवॉइड ही करते हैं सिचुएशन को. मेरा पिछली बार प्रेजेंटेशन अच्छा नहीं हुआ, इस बार भी अच्छे नहीं होगा, so it's better I avoid the day. I may miss my class in that day, or I may miss my presentation. So that is that is avoidance-oriented strategy. Lazarus and Folkman divided coping into two types: problem focus and emotion focus. Problem focused coping means when we focus on the problem, we address the problem. And emotion focused coping means when we use emotions to cope with the situation rather than focusing on the problem. So problem focused coping involves taking direct action, making plans. Emotion focused coping involves venting out emotions, behavior disengagement, mental disengagement, denial or acceptance. So let me explain it with one example. Suppose मैं इंटरव्यू में हर वक्त इंटरव्यू में मैं फेल करती हूँ, मैं इंटरव्यू क्रैक नहीं कर पाती हूँ. So interview is a big stress for me. So before giving one interview, suppose my stress level is very high because I am not able to perform good in my interviews. So if I want to use problem focused coping, then what I will do, मैं अपनी प्रॉब्लम में फोकस करूंगी. मैं देखूंगी क्यों मैं इंटरव्यू में मेरा क्या प्रॉब्लम होता है, क्यों मैं इंटरव्यू क्रैक नहीं कर पाती हूँ, मैं क्या मिस्टेक करती हूँ, मैं मुझे क्या करना चाहिए, हाउ मैं केयरफुली मैं प्लान करूंगी मुझे क्या करना चाहिए, कैसे मुझे इंटरव्यू का जो एंजाइटी होता है उसको ओवरकम करना चाहिए और कैसे मैं कर पाऊंगी, इसका मैं प्लान करूंगी, इसको मैं देखूंगी. So these are the direct action. Here we are focusing the problem and trying to find the solution for the problem. So this is the problem focused coping. Emotion focused coping means when we use emotion. Like मेरा इंटरव्यू ठीक नहीं हुआ इसलिए मैं रो रही हूँ, मैं गुस्सा दिखा रही हूँ, फ्रस्ट्रेटेड हो रही हूँ, मैं बिहेवियरली मेंटली उससे डिटैच हो रही हूँ, मैं और इंटरव्यू में जाना ही नहीं चाहती हूँ, मैं इंटरव्यू देती ही नहीं हूँ क्योंकि मुझे इंटरव्यू में फेल होगा. मैं अपनी फेलियर को एक्सेप्ट कर लेती हूँ दैट ओके आई एम गोइंग टू फेल, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू पास द इंटरव्यू. सो दिस आर इमोशन फोकस कॉपिंग. नेक्स्ट we'll discuss different stress management techniques. The first one is relaxation technique. This technique is based on the idea that our mind and body are related. So if I feel relaxed physically, that can bring relaxation in my relaxation. Also, I will feel relaxed mentally. So this technique is an active skill that reduce symptom of stress and decrease the incidence of illness such as high blood pressure and heart rate. In this process, in this relaxation technique, actually the individual try to become relaxed physically, and this physical relaxation actually bring mental peace, mental relaxation. Then next process is meditation. Meditation is a yogic method which help us to focus on our problem, to improve our concentration. It give us a mental peace, and we can, when we encounter a stressful situation, there are some mental like it also affect our mental well-being. It also we are tense, हम लोग में बहुत मतलब हम लोग बहुत टेंशन में होते हैं, ठीक से कंसंट्रेट नहीं कर पाते हैं, ठीक से भावना चिंता नहीं कर पाते हैं. So in meditation we can reduce all these mental agitations, tensions, and once we are able to remove this agitation and tension, then we can focus, we can concentrate, and we can see the problems from different perspectives, and we can make realistic or careful planning to deal the problems. Biofeedback. Biofeedback is also based on the idea that our physiological and psychological aspects are related. So if I can change my physiological reaction of stress, then I can also change my psychological perception of stress. In biofeedback, individual can monitor the physiological reaction to the stressful situation. So there's an instrument which actually provides feedback about our physiological reaction, means the increased heartbeat, sweating. Okay, and individual can control this physiological activity. And once individual can control the physiological activity, it can help the individual to control their mental agitations. So biofeedback involves 3 stages: controlling of physiological activity, awareness about it involves 3 stages: awareness about one's own physiological activities, controlling the physiological activities, and transferring this control in real life situation. Then next technique is creative visualization. It's another technique for reducing stress. In creative visualization, individual has to visualize any positive image or situation, and when the individual subjectively experience that positive image or situation, that induce some kind of mental peace, relaxation in the individual and help to cope with the stressful situation. Cognitive and behavioral technique. When we encounter stressful situation or when we experience stress, we have many distorted negative thoughts, and these negative thoughts actually increase our stress level. So So cognitive behavior technique actually focus on replacing this negative irrational thoughts with positive and rational one. Like let me give an example. Suppose I fail in one interview. So maybe I fail in one or two or more interviews, and then I develop a negative belief that it's not possible for me to crack an interview, or I don't have any quality that will help me to pass the interview. So this is a negative thought and irrational thought. So in cognitive behavior therapy, the therapist will try to replace this negative self-belief with a positive one, and that will help the individual to see the problem from new perspective and cope with the stressful situation. Then exercise. Obviously, healthy body is required for healthy mind. So if we are physically fit, we can handle the stressful situation properly. But if we are not physically fit, if we are not healthy, we cannot handle the stressful situation properly. So exercise can provide an active outlet for physiological arousal, experiencing stress, and also improve our heart rate, enhance our lung function, and lower our blood pressure, reduce fat, and improves our body immune system. Thus, exercise help us to stay fit, remain fit, and help us to handle any stressful situation.